California firefighters are part of a noble and challenging profession. The job is tough and dangerous, but it's also rewarding. In addition to personal fulfillment, a modern firefighter receives good pay, health care, secure retirement, and workplace safety. But it wasn't always that way.
Many of us came to work not issued protective clothing. We didn't have it. And we were leather lunging it, no breathing apparatus.
The first fire engine I rode on, we had one self-contained breathing apparatus that was in a suitcase on the top of the hosebed cover, and you didn't get to use it unless the captain said it was okay to put it on.
When I started out in the fire service 25 years ago, our salary wasn't very good. As a matter of fact, we were on the lower end of the scale, and our benefits just weren't very good.
You had no ability to really talk about what safety conditions you had, what kind of equipment you could use, whether you could ride on a tailboard with a safety strap or not.
The benefits firefighters enjoy were won through decades of struggle at the state and local level.
Nobody just gave us these benefits because they thought we were great people or good employees.
Things have improved, and it's not because our fire management decided they were going to be nice guys and help you out.
On my behalf, the local has negotiated secure contracts with adequate benefits. We've enjoyed a secure and generous retirement system.
The successes that we have today are in direct proportion to that political activity that we have.
If we only did one thing as a local or as a union, whether it's local or statewide with the CPF, it's politics. Because those are the people that make decisions on how you operate day to day.
As tough economic times have gripped the nation, even the most basic workplace protections are under attack. In nearly 24 states, a hardline agenda is taking aim at collective bargaining rights, retirement security, and basic political rights.
What they tried to do was dry up the money to the unions, to put the unions out of business. And their whole intent was not to balance the budget, which this was supposed to be about. It was to destroy the unions.
Obviously, we can look at Wisconsin as probably the first big battle, but it's happening in New Hampshire. Same thing is happening in Florida, throughout the South, obviously lately in Ohio.
We knew that on this wave coming from various states and now in Ohio and moving elsewhere, that we had to stand up and we had to stop this because it means something bigger than community safety and it means something bigger than our local contracts. This is about power and control.
And now, believe it or not, it's here in California. I mean, these people are directly, strategically trying to break the voice of labor.
Because firefighters and their unions speak loudly at the ballot box, a pro-firefighter legislature has held the line in California. So instead, the extremists have qualified a new Paycheck deception initiative intended to silence the voices of firefighters and working families. If enacted, the new Paycheck deception law would take away your right to have a voice in elections through voluntary payroll deduction. It weakens the firefighter voice in any local or state election, including ballot initiatives. It could even restrict your ability to exercise your rights as an individual union member.
Once they get their hands on our political access, take it away, steal our voice, and the next things fall off like dominoes.
We can potentially lose collective bargaining, we could potentially lose in pension reform, and other benefits and presumptions that we fought for the last 50 years to have could be gone instantaneously. This isn't just about not being able to collect dues from our members. This is about taking away our voice completely. If we don't have a say politically, we will get steamrolled.
California voters have twice rejected paycheck deception, in 1998 and in 2005. Many of the same hardliners are back again. The proponents of paycheck deception call it campaign reform, but this so-called reform is one-sided.
This initiative, as written, appears on the surface to be across the board, but truthfully, that's not the case. Plain and simple, this is about union busting. It's about silencing the working person's voice.
Union members that band together collectively as a voice are all of a sudden contractors, and now they don't have a voice. Really, it's a subtle way of turning the clock back 50 years ago when fire chiefs would say, by the way, you can't speak.
These people have one agenda, and that agenda is to wipe out their competition and reap the profits.
The fight over paycheck deception is about much more than big money politics. the loss of a strong, united voice would touch every area of a firefighter's life on and off the job.
When you look at safety, when you look at deployment, when you look at station coverages, staffing, firefighters are the people who are going to speak out.
If firefighters didn't have a voice in the political process, our citizens and our firefighters will be at greater risk.
Labor management is sort of the new buzzword right now. That's not something that came about because they wanted that. That came about because of our involvement in politics.
I hate to tell you, but they don't think you're, God's gift like you might think you are. You have a dollar amount attached to you, and when they're making their budget, you better have some sort of voice in there.
If we were to lose our collective voice, one of the first things I think that they would try to come after would be presumptions.
I've had over half a dozen very close friends die of occupational cancer at 51 years of age or less.
In the last year, we've had several of our members get cancer. I had open heart surgery. Every bit of that was covered. If CPF is taken out of the game, the presumptives that we have, those will all be lost. And there won't be anything us at the local level will be able to do about it.
Already we've seen private companies, corporations, multi-million-dollar corporations, coming into California and trying to compete for running fire departments.
The politicians that are the fringe but in control of Costa Mesa are doing everything they can to eliminate our voice. And once our voice is eliminated and we don't have a seat at the table, then we're as good as dead. They want us to sit on the sidelines and essentially take whatever they give us, and in our case, that could be unemployment.
In past victories against anti-labor attacks, firefighters played a key role in rallying the public. This time, first responders have been targeted as scapegoats for California's chronic budget problems.
Throughout my career, I've enjoyed the benefit of firefighters being America's heroes or America's darlings, but it's a different climate today.
And we are no longer protected by the, quote, hero status, end quote. That is no longer a protective shield for us because they don't care. They'll outsource us to a private corporation just as easily as the streets department or tree trimming.
Anybody that believes that we're still America's heroes and in the eyes of the public, they won't do this to us, is a fool.
Meeting the challenge won't be easy. Anti-labor forces have spent tens of millions of dollars in Ohio, Wisconsin, and other states pushing their agenda. And they're packing their bags for California as we speak. Winning in 2012 will take unity, commitment, and money.
We need to really, more than ever, get out, each individual firefighter, and talk to Californians about why this is bad. Not only for us as a fire service, but for the state of California.
I've walked precincts, I've done phone banking, I carried picket signs during several of the rallies back against Proposition 75. It wasn't even a choice, it was a simple decision to say, this isn't right, we have to stop it.
This campaign is going to be the hardest campaign that we've had since I can remember, and it's life or death.
For the rest of our careers, we're going to be fighting. We need to make sure that we have the resources available to fight and win.
But if we lose our voice, we'll never be able to get anything back. And we'll lose everything that we have little by little by little. This is a fight we cannot afford to lose.
You can make the difference in the fight for the future of this proud profession. To find out how, talk to your local union rep or go to www.cpf.org.